Welcome to the Evolve WMMA podcast featuring women who go against conventional thinking to pursue their dreams. These fighters inspire, empower, and unleash excellence within a new generation of female warriors as they rise and evolve into the best possible versions of themselves through the power of mixed martial arts. Hey, this is Evolve WMMA, and I'm your host, Shelly Devine. So my next guest is from Manhattan, Kansas, not New York. She has an amateur MMA record of 2-2. She is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, and she'll be making her pro debut at Invicta 33, where she'll be facing my most recent guest, Chantel Killer Coates. I'd like to welcome to the show, Ashlynn Kleinbeck. Hi, Ashlynn.
Hi, how are you?
Very good, thank you. You must be really excited.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a fight that has been in the works. I think this is the third time coming up, right? And 2 other times it didn't happen.
Yeah, third time's the charm, right?
Yes, that's what I keep saying. And if you wouldn't mind explaining what happened last time, I was like, when I did some research on you, I was like, oh my word, you poor kid. You had an appendicitis.
Yes, the week of the fight. It was pretty bad. I had to go to the emergency room that night and they took it out. So I had to call her up and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't fight.
Wow. I mean, was that just a fluke or does it, I was curious, if it was set off by anything or like, fight training or cutting weight or anything like that, or is just kind of like, oh, I had an appendicitis.
I talked to the surgeon and he didn't think it was anything because I was pretty close to weight and everything. I didn't feel bad at all. And he just says, these things just happen. People's appendix, it just goes all the time. So it was just a weird fluke. I mean, it can't happen twice. So.
Right. Yeah. Was it painful?
It was really, really painful. Probably the worst part was getting told I wouldn't be able. I was trying to argue with him and I'm like, can we just take it out next week?
Yeah, I heard it's tremendously painful to have an appendicitis. I mean, like, did it happen like that too? Like, all of a sudden you were like fine and then boom, you're like, oh my God.
I mean, I thought it may be something I ate. So I just brought it off as like some sort of weird food poisoning or something. Like maybe my stomach was upset. So I was probably sick, like just sick for like 24 hours before I was like, there is something wrong. My mom's a nurse too, and I called her and she's like, I think you need to go to the emergency room.
Wow. Were you scared when it happened?
Not particularly scared, mostly just disappointed because I'd been looking forward to everything happening. So, I mean, it was rough, but I ended up doing a jiu-jitsu tournament 2 weeks later, so it all worked out.
You did. Good for you. Wow.
Yeah, my doctor wasn't too happy, but.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like you've recovered appropriately? I mean, this was just September when you had this, right? When you had the appendicitis. I don't know what the recovery is for something like that. Can you explain?
Yeah, absolutely. They did it all laparoscopically, so they just went in with a machine, so they didn't have to completely cut me open. So I just have like 3 little scars on my stomach, and they just took all that out, and he cleared me to start training. He said slowly after the first week, so I just kind of built back up into it, and I feel like I've come back stronger than ever.
Good. That's awesome. Very good. And you said you had you competed. How long after the appendicitis you competed in the jiu-jitsu tournament?
2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty quick. That is quick. Wow. So this is your first pro fight coming up, pro MMA fight. And it's on a major, like, a major promotion. Really is a big
Yeah.
promotion for women, because I mean, a lot of, you know, if you kind of keep going, moving up in the ranks or whatever, sometimes the UFC picks you up. So it's kind of like going to the farm team place. So you're really excited to be presenting on this platform. And, you know, for your first pro debut, is there a lot of pressure there too?
Everyone keeps talking about like pressure and things like that, and everyone's really excited, but you know, I just love to fight. You know, at the end of the day, I see it as just another opportunity to do what I love. And you know, they're a fantastic promotion, and I'm like so blessed to be able to showcase what I can do for them. So
how did they approach you?
I actually fought several fights for Blue Corner in Kansas City, and Ben up there is great guy. They put on such a great show every year. And he contacted me and he was like, I know you keep trying to fight this girl Chantel and your last fight won't work out. And he was like, so I got some opportunities for you. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, wow, that's great. Do you have a manager that helps you out with this, or do you do it yourself, or does your gym, like your coaches, help you out with you know, setting up fights?
It's between me and my gym. We kind of just do it right now. I'm really new, so I've just kind of been working on it and seeing what all happens. But Joe Wilkes down at Combative Sports Center sets up a lot of fights, and the managers usually just end up talking to me directly.
That's awesome. Good. Keep it that way for a while.
Yeah.
As long as you
stay out of
can.
the politics.
Yeah. Kind of keep it that way for as long as you can. So share a little bit about how you got started in martial arts. Most people, there's really not a lot of information on you, Ashlynn. So people who are going to be watching and going to be seeing you maybe for the first time, and they're going to be like, okay, so who is this chick? You know, like, what can she do? Is she a striker or a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you know, player, or what, and how did you get into martial arts?
I actually started way back in middle school. I was a wrestler. So I just one day came home and I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to join the wrestling team. So I did that I wrestled in middle school. I wrestled a few years in high school. And then when I got to college, I didn't know too much what was going on. My dad actually got me into it. He was the combatives teacher on post and introduced me to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which was taught by Joe Wilkes. He worked for the combatives team on the military post as well. And then from there, I just kept doing jiu-jitsu, and I saw the boys striking in the corner, and I was like, oh, I can do that too.
What was your first experience when you like kind of were, you know, striking with the guys? Like, I mean, what was that like for you?
It was interesting at first. I'm the first girl they ever had that kind of came over and did stuff. They had a couple girls before, Jim Case and stuff like that, but no one's really fought out of the gym. So it was a learning experience for everyone. They had to learn how to hit a girl, and I had to learn to take it sometimes and to hit back even harder. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I know. I think there's something to be said about, you know, being able to take a punch in the face and then keep going back, you know, like, you know, there's something to be said about a woman that can do that. Like, I mean, I know it's not some people are concerned, like, oh my God, why would you want to do that? You know, like, why? And it does take a special breed to be able to get back in there and kind of be able to say, oh, you know what, that wasn't so bad. I'm like, I can deal with this. And it's way more fun to actually strike somebody. So I'm like, I could take a few hits to do it, right?
Absolutely. The first thing I always tell people is, I'm like, it doesn't hurt as bad as you think. I promise.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Unless when you're in the cage and you're catching a few elbows here or there or something like that, those suck. I'm like, or a knee or something, I don't know. So your folks they didn't mind you like wrestling and getting involved in this very physical and male kind of dominated sport?
They were my biggest supporters. My mom every time would brag on the stand. She was like, "My baby girl just beat up your little boy."
Oh, wow.
But they're super, super supportive of me, 100%. They loved it. They were all about it.
That's so cool because you get different I mean, I've interviewed quite a few women and you get different reactions from their parents. Like they've gotten different reactions from their parents. You know, their moms or would be like, you know, "Oh no, what are you doing?" And then after a while, they're kind of like, "Oh, okay, you don't come home with too many black eyes or whatever." And they're like, "All right," you know. And now you see, and whenever I see someone that their parents are, because I have kids that were like, my son is in martial arts. My daughter was the one that actually got me and my ex-husband into it, and she got the whole family into it. She doesn't do anything now, but I think at some point she's got to get back involved in it. And they're a little bit older now. They're in the late 20s, both my kids. But it's just so funny. I'm like, I love it. And I'm like, I would have never known. I wish I had known when I was your age that I liked it so much, and had parents that were like, you know, "Oh yeah, this is cool," but we just didn't know it back then, you know. It's so cool that your folks were into it for you and kind of allowed you to kind of get involved, and they were cool with it and supported you in it.
Yeah, my dad's done a lot of stuff. He actually works for the state of Kansas on the commission, so he refs a lot of the MMA fights around here.
So very cool. That's all. Thanks, Dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they must be thrilled with this opportunity that you have right now.
Oh my gosh, they are telling everyone and all their friends, and they're so excited, and I think they're more excited than I am sometimes, but
yeah. Will they be able to go to the event? Will they be there?
They will be. They'll be in the front row. Everyone will be able to hear them. So if you go, my mom always yells every time. She's like, "Don't you let her hit you, Ashlynn."
That's so funny. Wow. That's awesome. That's really great. It's great to have your folks behind you for sure. Mm-hmm. So, other than your parents, who would you say has played a meaningful role in your life's journey or influenced you in a positive way?
Joe Wilkes, probably. He's the owner of the gym. He's always really pushed everyone to he's like, everyone should try it. Everyone should try it once. You know, it never hurts to get in the cage. And he's been backing me the whole time, as well as Justin Overton. He was one of my big coaches. He was the first one to like pull me aside and like really show me how it's done. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Do you have any aha stories that you know, where you've had a moment of realization during your years of training in martial arts? Ooh.
I mean, every time is like oh my goodness, sorry.
It's okay.
Every time is like a huge aha moment. Like you just learn things all the time, and there's all these people supporting you. And but I think the first time I really like saw the boys doing stuff, because it was just the guys. I'd never thought about it, and they were in the corner doing wrestling drills, and I was like, I know how to wrestle. I know how to do jiu-jitsu. Like, why am I not over there with them? Like, what is stopping me from being a part of this group other than they're boys and I'm girls?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that first moment, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do.
That was a big aha.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, all right, it's done. Here I am.
I can do anything a boy can do.
Yeah. What's stopping me?
That's cool. That's my attitude. I'm really bad about that. I'm like, I've had that my whole life, and nobody can break me from it. I can do better.
It makes me want to do it more, you know? And they're like, "Oh, you're a girl," and I'm like, "All right, now I have to prove you wrong."
Yeah, right? Oh my goodness, that's so cute. So cute. Is it endearing to your boyfriend when you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves it. He fights as well, so he gets it. He's like, just do your thing.
That's good. So he's supportive too.
Yeah, he's huge support. He's here right now, and he was like, okay, getting me ready, and he's like, you nervous? And
yeah.
But he's always in my corner. He'll be at the fights too. So
nice. That's great. That's awesome. That's really good. Do you have a personal habit or daily routine that contributes to your success?
I was always kind of taught, like, I've always gotten up really early in the morning, but they were like, get up, make your bed, like, get your stuff in order first thing in the morning. And I think that is huge. And I don't think enough people, especially young people, get up in the morning and, like, get their life together. You know, make yourself breakfast, make your bed, clean your room, get all that done. And then at the end of the day, that way you can focus on it. So I can spend all my time focusing on my training or getting my schoolwork done because I got everything organized and together right off the bat in the morning.
Yeah, I hear a lot of that from other fighters. They're really focused on prioritizing and getting things clear or clutter free. Like if you make your bed in the morning and you get like, okay, I got that all down and I have my clothes or whatever that I'm going to put on. I have my bags packed. I'm ready to get to the gym. Or if you have a job and you go, it's like totally being mentally clutter free.
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta.
Yeah, I think it's very military based. I think there was some I don't know if is it Jocko Wilkes or something like that, really tough, and they're just like, okay, no excuses, just get the shit done.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a military background thing. My dad was in the Army for years.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I was always taught, get up, get organized.
Yeah, and make your bed. First thing you do when you get up. Huh?
Yeah, we had to make our bed every morning. Had to be in school on time. No, you're either 5 minutes early or you're late.
Yeah, I don't know where, like, I understand that being a military thing. My mom and the way I was raised, no military background. They just, I don't know what it was, but even like my dad's mother, the way that the Scotch people, like you got to have like, I mean, scrubbing the floors clean or whatever, but like total, and I don't know if I don't think they had a military, no, they didn't. And I'm like, what the heck was up with these people? I mean, I was like a little kid making my bed, boom, done, morning, like done. And I don't see that today. Like I had a hardest time getting my kids to do that. Both of them. And I was like, how did my mother, they scared the shit out of us. Yeah. I don't know what they did. But I'm like, it's fascinating to me because I was like, how did me and my brother and my sister, we were all like right in line. And then I see other people, I'm like, no, they don't do it. They got the messy beds and everything. I'm like, what the hell did my folks do? And I get the military thing. I get that. They, like I completely get that and having your clothes folded and everything. But my parents had no military background. I'm like, I don't know how they did it. I really don't. Other than scaring the shit out of us. Yeah. The strap or something. I don't know.
That's where your martial arts come in handy, right?
Yeah, they had none of that. They had none of that. Like I didn't grow up with it. I didn't get it until way later on in life. I don't know what. I wish I could ask them. They're not around anymore. I was like, what? What was the thing with you people? All right, whatever. I digressed. Sorry. I'm all wound up now. So tell us a story of a time in your journey or your martial arts career where you experienced failure. And what did you learn from it? And how did you kind of get over it? Like, what did you do to kind of, put it behind you?
Yeah. My first big failure, and I think a lot of people say that, is like my first big loss. So I drove out to Oklahoma. It was my second ever fight, step in the cage, and I ended up facing Christina Williams. She's a fantastic fighter. She fights on Bellator now. And I just took a beating. It happens every now and then, but
yeah.
I held my own. It lasted 3 rounds, but there's something about you just got beat up in front of all these people, and it doesn't make you want to come back right off the bat. So I had to take some time. I had to train, and I had to remember that, like, I do this because I love it. It's not about winning or losing. It's because I like to do this, because I want to be better. So I took that. I had to suck it up, and I had to get back in the cage and start training again. And so, but that first fight right after was a little scary.
Yeah, that sounds it like having, if you're getting beaten up and then you got to go back and face everybody. Did you feel humiliated somehow or?
I just, not humiliated, but disappointed. I disappointed myself. I had disappointed all these people. I didn't reach these goals and expectations I had set.
Yeah.
But everyone was behind me. No one was sad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, you did good or whatever, and they wanted you back. And I think the reason why I say humiliation too, I like to identify what emotions that are being felt. So people, I think once you identify them and you know what you're dealing with, which to me, it sounds like shame. You felt ashamed because you didn't win. And you took a public beating or whatever. And this is amazing. This is the amazing thing about what you women do. You get in front of, in a cage, and there's like people all around you, and you get, one of you is getting the shit knocked out. And you're like, but I love this. But it's fun when you win. But when you don't win, it's like, okay, I got to still, like, there's this challenge of dealing with failure. So, for any opportunity or any success to come, you have to deal with failure and sometimes repetitive failures. And I've heard a lot of people and you have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, right? Like you're a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So
yes, ma'am.
Every day you're in there rolling with somebody and somebody's tapping you, I'm sure, so it's kind of like a mini little, like, okay, it wasn't successful. Let's get back to the drawing board.
Yeah, our coach, Joe Wilkes, he has this great saying. He says, you either learn by repetition or you learn by trauma. So you either got to do one or the other. One's faster, so you'll learn faster with trauma, but it's better to just do a lot of reps. So.
Wow, I like that. That's actually a really great saying. That's pretty cool. I like that. So you learn a lot from him, I'm sure.
He's just like that little guru in the corner, just says all these weird sayings all the time,
Do you have very many female training partners?
In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I do. We don't have a lot of girls that spar at the moment, but we have like 7 or 8 that all competitively blue belts that we're just neck and neck all the time. So
that's great.
It's fun. Yeah, I'll go down to Wichita and I'll train with Jessica Middleton every now and then and get some sparring in with her.
Wow, that sounds awesome. That sounds really great. So is there anything that keeps you up at night other than, like, getting a present at Christmas right now? Wondering what your boyfriend might be getting you. Just put him on the hot seat.
I'm so ready for Christmas. I haven't got my reindeer tights on right now.
Yay.
Right now, it's always the fight. I have graduation on Saturday, so all my finals are next week, and so just the regular stress of everyday life, but I try to put it all away. I got to meditate. I try to think about it. I do a lot of like yoga. And you got to put your life in perspective.
Cool. That's cool. So you're graduating in what and where, and fill us in.
Yeah. I'm graduating Kansas State University with a degree in kinesiology. So that's this Saturday.
Congratulations.
Thanks. It's
next week you got to fight.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
It's a busy weekend, but I'm so excited. Nothing but like good times, right?
Oh my gosh, your folks must be so proud of you.
Yeah, they have to do a lot of traveling, so they're busy as well.
Yeah, wow, that's so awesome. So that's a big, huge, accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a kinesiology. Can you give us a description of what that is for people that don't know what kinesiology is?
Absolutely. It's kind of like the way the body moves. So, very like PTs, chiropractic usually have degrees in kinesiology as well, but it's kind of like sports specific training. My favorite class in school was gym. So I basically studied, went to school, got a degree in gym class.
That's so awesome. That's great. That's really awesome. I didn't know that they had degrees in kinesiology. I thought it would be like, sports medicine or something like that, but that's really cool. I didn't know what they had that nowadays. It's really,
Yeah, it's a pretty new.
yeah, that's great. I love seeing people going into alternative health, practices, or, physical movement, dealing with mobility issues and flexibility issues. And you're a yoga practitioner too. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been practicing yoga?
I just do it at home as like a stretching. So I wouldn't say I'm like a yogi or anything.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like meditation and like stretch, you get beat up all day. You got to
Yeah.
work it out a little in the end.
Yeah. Does the meditation help you with your martial arts training?
I think it helps focus in general. Like you got a lot, when you have like finals and all this other stuff going on, sometimes you're like, I just need to take a minute, focus my thoughts, and then be able to put that into action and do what I need to do to get things done.
Sure. What is your typical meditation practice like?
I've looked at different things on YouTube and stuff like that. They have like walkthroughs of how to get into different meditation modes. Typically I just put everything away and I'm like, I just need to sit and breathe for like 1 minute and just get ready.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you're doing that now. I think it's a lifelong practice,
Yeah.
like those are ones that you can stick with your entire life. I think everything you're doing, it's funny because everything that you're doing, it's amazing to me that female fighters tend to get involved in these sorts of practices. Like they get involved, they love the striking, they love all, the aggression of mixed martial arts. They like getting involved in that and they find it fun. Then they'll go the other side and do the meditation practice with the yoga. And guys do it too, but it typically seems like the more I've interviewed several women and they tend to kind of go in this and actually even studying some alternative practices that body related. So I think it's really cool. Very, very neat to see that in you. What are 3 things that are essential to your success and in leading an empowered life?
It's always hard to like bring it down to 3. You know what I mean? But today it feels like it's support. I feel like empowerment, like knowing that you like don't say no is what I've always been taught. Like push past where you think you can go. Probably another one would be just, I don't know. It's hard to think right now.
It's okay. We can move on. That was good. The last answer was good. What has been your greatest challenge when dealing with, say, fear and how to overcome it?
Overcoming fear is really interesting because my mom never really let me be like, whenever I got nervous about things, whenever I feared things, she'd always look at me and she'd go, no one's going to take away your birthday. No matter what happens, whether you win or lose, no one is going to take away your birthday. And I was like, the more I've gotten older, the more that's become true to me. Like if I lose this fight, if I fail this test, if something happens at work, I still got to go to work on Monday. I still got to go to training. I still got to go. Like the world's not going to stop and I'm not the center of the universe. Like, so this fear is only fear to me. It's not real. So I always try to push back that and go to the next step to think that this isn't the biggest thing in the whole wide world.
So your mom had that sense about a false expectations appearing real.
Yeah.
Down. It's amazing. Some people really get that, like, their entire life, they really get it and they can channel like, no, you're not going to go there, sister. Like you're just not. That's really awesome. I love it.
Didn't make sense when I was a kid. I was like, what do you mean no one's going to, can people take away your birthday? What?
That's just, I know. It's pretty funny that you say that to you. That's just an awesome way to look at things, I think. And just to explain, you got it. You got the message, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took some time, and the more and more, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, everything my mom ever told me is true.
Wow, that's so good. Oh gosh. That's great. It's wonderful to have a great relationship with your folks. That's just a wonderful thing, I think. Let's see. So has there been any time in your fight training or career or life where you were told no because you were a woman, or you felt kind of inferior, or told no because you were a woman and you couldn't do something?
I mean, it's always hard because we're playing in a boys' club. These martial arts, wrestling, like we're a part of these, like we're outside the club. We can't always be in, and you got to make your way in. So you always kind of feel awkward, especially like right as you start and you're new and you don't know what to do. You just feel weird about it. But I wasn't ever directly enforced until I first wanted to do wrestling as a kid. Because, I walk up to my mom and I was like, I want to wrestle. And she was like, what do you mean you want to wrestle? Like, you're a girl. You don't do that. You're going to get cauliflower ear. You're going to get beat up. But the minute she saw me pin a boy, she was so proud and she just was amazed. And from then on, like, absolutely, like, my dad was behind me 100%. And they were just like, go for it. This is what you're meant to do.
Awesome. Do you see yourself as a role model for girls or young women coming up, even in the martial arts?
People always tell me I'm a role model, and it's always weird to see yourself that way. You just think you're doing what you need to do. But I always try to present those messages, especially to younger girls, that nothing you do is weird. Don't ever let don't ever let somebody to tell you that you can't do something. So if you want to do something, if you want to join that club, if you want to be a part of that, then you need to push. Like, I want women to push and to exceed the expectations and these limits that they think that they have. So I hope that I can, like, pave some of that way to make women feel more comfortable and more ready to, like, push a little bit further. Because there needs to be more women. We need more women to join this and to do this and make people see us, that we are just as important and just going to be here to stay, and they can't back us up.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I do this. So you guys have, you can talk about it. You can get out there and people get to know you and know that, oh, I'm not like, a nutty whatever or something, whatever. I don't know what people would think, like what it is now. I back, about 15, 20 years ago when the men were just starting out in the cage, they were like, oh, this is like, so brutal, and it was not perceived well. And now that they see more people doing it, and women, and it's here to stay, it's only going up. It's only going up. And there's going to be greater and greater opportunities, I think, for women as things go. We just have to find the women that who want to compete at this level, and help support them to get there, and it's what it's all about, like getting on here, talking about it, getting people excited, getting people to know you, developing a fan base. So speaking of fan base, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody that's helping you out along the way, or maybe, just call out your opponent? Anything that you want to do, say, I'm coming for you, or whatever. I don't, this is like your little infomercial.
Oh, goodness. I mean, I always want to get a shout out to anybody that's been there, all the people that support me and all this other stuff. But I mean, I have nothing against the girl. We're all women in this one sport, and we should always empower each other. But like, I'm going to put up a hell of a fight. So we got to be ready.
That's good. So we will be seeing you on December 15th. On UFC Fight Pass at Invicta 33. Are you guys going to be on Facebook? Will you guys be? I know in September they had it set up where you and Chantel were going to be on the Facebook Live or something like that. You were going to be streamed live on Facebook. Are they doing that for your fight this time? Do you know or not? I wasn't sure.
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard anything about that at this moment. I mean, I know my mom will always live stream it, but
right. Yeah.
beside that, I haven't heard any official message from anyone that they're doing anything like that. So you got to go on a Fight Pass.
Yeah, so it's $9, $10 or whatever to pay Fight Pass or whatever, UFC Fight Pass, to go on and see Ashlynn Kleinbeck kick butt against Chantel Coates. And hopefully it's going to be an awesome match. You're about less than 2 weeks away. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you fight and perform. I can't wait to see you guys both, go at it. I just recently did an interview with Chantel. She's a sweetheart too. So it's going to be great to see you guys in there for your first pro MMA debut.
Ooh, yeah.
I know, right? And I mean, what do you think though too? The flyweight division right now is kind of, there's no one there. They don't have a title holder. I mean,
I think, yeah, it's fantastic. Like, paving the way. They've just opened so many more doors, so many more weight classes up in the UFC too. So I think, like, I just want to go out there. I want to get my name in that holder, and you always want to go for the belt, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's on the the ladder climb, I guess.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, it was a pleasure having you on the show, Ashlynn, and congratulations too for being a graduate too. On coming up this coming weekend. I'm sure your folks are so proud, and good luck to you. A safe fight camp, weight cut if you have to do it. All that, and we'll look forward to seeing you on December 15th at Invicta 33, kicking ass, and facing Chantel Killer Coates.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
On your show. Thank you so much.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
So, wow, that was a great little interview, getting to know Ashlynn Kleinbeck, who will be facing Chantel Coates this December 15th at Invicta 33. So make sure you get Fight Pass. It's only $10, and it looks like a great card and helps support women's mixed martial arts by viewing it. So if you like what you heard and are eager to hear more, remember to subscribe or download on iTunes and leave us an awesome review. It helps people find the show. You can listen while doing other things. You can find us at Podomatic or Shout Engine, and even now on Spotify at All Things MMA. Or if you prefer to watch, you can watch us on YouTube at Women's MMA. Or you can simply follow us at facebook.com/I love WMMA. This is Shelley Devine.